Welcome to Next Time. We have caught you.
Oh no.
oh, horrifying.
I did not know I was committed to this.
We just all became accessories. Okay.
Horse?
Yeah, second one.
We're stuck.
Okay, I do want to ask, how have you been holding up at some point?
Sure, we'll do that next.
Would you rather fight 1 murder horse-sized Screwduck or 100 Screwduck-sized murder horses?
So I want to hear y'all's opinion on this because I have opinions on this before we click through.
Are we...
Duck-sized horse. I don't know what a Screwduck is or a murder horse is, but with the parallel of duck-sized horses or horse-sized ducks, I definitely think the swarm of 100 duck-sized horses is way more mass in total to like deal with, and you would be overwhelmed. But I could imagine fighting a horse-sized duck.
Yeah, because I essentially
You just need one good stab.
treat that question like fighting a cyclops. Like you just gotta like dance between the legs a little bit and like.
You gotta
I
find
completely
the Taurus.
I completely disagree because here what we have is ducks are very scaredy at their current size. They have like teeth and shit, and like the ends of their webbed feet have like little spikes.
I did not know that part.
And they have
I did not know
corkscrew
that.
appendages.
Yeah, they are largely
Which
terrifying.
appendages, Ben?
The
I played
wings,
the fifth.
the wings go in the corkscrews.
That's why they are called Screwducks.
Yeah.
What if a screw duck is just a giant duck?
But the thing about horses at their current size is if a horse gets injured like at all at its current size, it's already basically done for. Whereas, or not whereas, but meaning if you have horses already thin little legs scaled down to the size of ducks, you just gotta just like keep just like sweeping your legs, or in your case, doing donuts.
Yeah, no, like a duck-sized horse would have legs so thin that it would not be able to support itself.
Oh, so it would just
via
immediately.
No, but we have a smaller is easier. Think about where we see like whales. We only see whales in the ocean because the ocean helps. Shut up. Because
There's a number of reasons for that one.
because it helps to support such a large body. When you can utilize the assistance of the water, it's harder on Earth.
But
scaling down would make it easier.
We don't see whales on land because as soon as they leave the water, they become invisible. We know this. This is a fact.
Well,
This is a known fact. Not sure why we have to go over this.
So
That's why
here's-
SeaWorld is such a failure.
So here's the
Yeah,
thing.
you can't
is that,
see anything at SeaWorld.
No.
So
Continue running.
So here's the thing about that is that it's not necessarily that like the really small, the Screwduck-sized murder horses would like be unable to support their own weight on their legs or that kind of thing, but they'd still be like definitely weak enough. They'd be small enough that like instead of having like a Seabiscuit style, you have to like race this horse a lot before it breaks its leg, and then you have to. Well, that's not Seabiscuit, but that's other horses.
Warhorse?
What
are other horse movies? Fast and Furious
Spirit.
.5.
Spirit, Stallion the Cimarron.
Oh, yeah. Go on,
Okay.
Baxter.
Okay, but like, instead of having to deal with like something that size, like again, if you like sweep, first of all, it takes horses a while to get back on their feet. So even if you don't fully injure the horse by sweeping it off its feet, it still is gonna take a while.
Are
So,
you
like-
suggesting we flirt with the horse?
But
Seduce the horse.
A horse-sized duck could probably still fly,
Horses
and that
are
terrifies
dense.
me.
Also, yeah, ducks are just horrifying creatures.
horses are also really dense, though. Like, have you ever seen
Wait,
an
like
accident
heavy or,
between
like,
a car
stupid?
and like a moose or a
Yeah.
deer or an antelope or like any of those variety of animal?
Yeah.
I'm not a biologist. I don't know how to describe them in a particularly
Mammals?
good way.
Megafauna.
No, there's many. Yeah, sure. The point
Neither of
is,
those were
It's
accurate.
megafauna.
they are dense.
They
If
are.
you've ever seen a
It's the
car
thing that makes
collide
your
into
voice
one,
louder.
it wrecks the car and they kind of walk away.
Yeah.
So I worry that the thought that we could just, kind of sweep them out of the way might be a wishful thinking.
Ronan, can you fix my foot real quick?
Sure.
Let's see what Sam has to respond. What?
I Sam heard that entire conversation.
Okay, so imagine you're stuck in a room with either, it's inside, not outside, then I would probably take, again, 100 murder horses the size of Screwducks. Moving on. With either a Screwduck the size of a murder horse or 100 murder horses the size of Screwducks. If you had to fight one of those two things, which would you pick? Personally, I'd go for the murder horse size Screwduck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
It's gonna
choice.
make us pick. Okay. Oh, I beg to differ.
Then beg. Oh!
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. So you'd rather fight the murder horses?
Yeah, first off, they're small, so you wouldn't have to worry about, like, getting kicked once and dying. Also, murder horses can be really sweet if you catch them in the right mood. Like, yes, they can bite through a skull in half a second, but that's only if they're scared.
Me too.
Like, Screwducks are terrifying.
OMG, what? They're adorable.
No, they're not. They're little killing machines.
If you say so.
2 questions left.
How have you been holding up? How have you been holding up?
Like, in general?
Yeah, you've seemed anxious, I guess. IDK. Liana thinks you're up to something.
Liana always thinks that. I'm okay. There wasn't really anything keeping me in Sundown anymore.
Wasn't there anything you miss?
I mean, of course there was. The night when we got run out of town, it felt like I'd lost everything. I mean, you saw me. I tried to sacrifice myself for basically no reason. But now, looking around, I'm starting to think that maybe this is an opportunity.
What for?
I'm not sure yet.
Hey.
I'm sure we'll do something good with it, though.
Wow.
1 question left. Better make it count.
You know what would have been great is if one of the options had been changed to, like, maybe once we get to Hopeville, do you want to go on a date or something? But
I feel
think
like this...
Midwest dating rules say ask about the farm to clinch it. So.
That's some yeehaw shit.
What was your... Nope.
what was your farm like?
What? I don't think I ever told you about...
Sam, I've been fixing your mech for almost a week. Broad shoulders, no head, digging claws covered in dirt. That's a farm mech if I've ever seen one.
Alright, you got me. I had a farm.
E-I-E-I-O.
What?
Never mind. What was it like?
It was the most beautiful place in the world.
Wow.
It wasn't very big, and it's almost impossible to start a farm in most crops these days because of copyright from the big seed companies. Not to mention how most farmland has been bought by giant corps. So I grew flowers.
Wow.
It was a pretty small farm, all things considered, and I never made much money. But I want to point out something interesting there in regards to sort of early colonial history and the Netherlands, and sort of Dutch flower use, and the way in which that wasn't like copywritten, but like the way in which that became signature and expensive in ways not too dissimilar from sort of the economic consumption of places like Monsanto, now known as Bayer. Yes?
Sorry, that was I'm now mad at a football team. You said that, now I'm mad at a football team. Moving on.
This also reminds me, and maybe we can link some stuff in the description. There's lots of really good articles there about farmers that are having to learn to hack their own tractors just to make basic fixes to them. I don't know nearly enough about farm labor or computing to like make sense of those, but those kinds of articles always make me kind of angry and depressed.
I know some of the computing things. It's a lot of the same issue you see with cars nowadays, wherein as more and more components become electric, and you get cars that are less fixable on your own, people can't just fix their own stuff.
Yeah, and there's also planned obsolescence in certain things where you need to get updates. Diego and I are both very pointedly touching devices that are specifically from a company very well known for that.
It's known
also,
as, we don't have to be subtle. We don't have to subtweet. It's Apple, but it's also like most
I'm
tech
sitting in a
companies.
device that
Can I
runs
just
on
stop you
Linux.
there? When you mean Apple, you actually mean Tim Apple?
Yo, yes, Tim Apple next to Jeff Oasis.
But also, I also am like, I really love the very like pointed thing where like the one thing that like is not being dominated by major companies in this are things that are considered obsolete or like useless towards like capitalism.
Like they don't
It's
have an industrial
flowers.
goal.
Yeah.
It's an aesthetic goal.
Yeah. And like that's sort of like one of those things where like I will always be pro someone buying flowers because like or like buying candles or like that kind of thing. Just because like even if you're like having to make everything like stretch in order to like get those flowers or like that kind of thing, like it's still you have something that's filling up something in you, and I think like emotionally, and I think that that's really important. And also like a lot of people will like talk about like dandelions are like a weed, but they also make like their greens are like pretty good in a salad, and you can also like make soups from them and like that kind of thing.
Yeah, but I have a personal vendetta against dandelions because the backyard of my old house was so full of dandelions, it looks as though it had snowed, and I tried to find something to do with all those dandelions because there must be something fun to do with them, and I couldn't. Nothing was fun. Nothing was
wine.
enjoyable.
Dandelion wine.
I was in high school. I didn't know about dandelion wine.
Every
Sorry,
morning I
don't
woke
fold
up
your
and I
look.
got to see something beautiful. Something peaceful in that. That's enough questions.
This is fun.
Yeah, it was nice getting to know you.
You too. It sounds like one of them's about to murder the other. It was nice getting to know you. Now, goodbye.
Hey, can I ask you another question?
Depends. Is it part of the game?
No, it's not personal.
Oh.
Oh. Can a mech have memories?
Do you have memories of Mars?
Do you remember love?
What?
I don't know. It's weird. Sometimes when I get in my mech, it feels like it's trying to say something to me.
It could be muscle memory, maybe? Mechs don't really have nerve centers like brains that can store memory traditionally, but if something especially traumatic happens in a mech, there's a chance that emotion will get stored.
You Gucci?
I'm grabbing something for Justin,
Ah.
because I knocked it down. And then that alters the nerve patterns over time. Does that sound like what you're dealing with?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
The rest of the night passes uneventfully. Sam and Cass stare at the sky together, neither of them speaking, both of their heads buzzing with thoughts. Brad examines Sam's mech. Leanna thinks about becoming a blood sport
Hold
player.
on, what?
You know.
I also keep mispronouncing her name, Liana. When sleep comes, it comes without dreams. In the morning,
We should get going soon. Who's it gonna be?
who do we want?
Play the farm mech. Now
Yeah,
that
let's-
we've learned about it.
Yeah, let's play the farm mech.
Farm boy make do.
I'll do it. Let's go.
You are Sam.
Go ahead.
You hesitate as you climb inside the mech. You've owned it for almost a decade at this point. Never had anything like yesterday happen before. You grab the shoulder meat and you strap yourself in. Can't pop on it any longer. You have to face this. Put on it any longer. You whisper your name and plunge it back onto the nerve spec. Hello? You're alone. It was probably nothing. You stretch, feeling the way bone and muscle contort without the limitations of skin. It hurts, but you've learned to ride it out. Pain is bearable. Just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. And it's gone. Connection. You have a job to do. You are roots among ash. The bitter cliffside air makes you cough as you stand.
Let me, real quick, this is the Bash Night Bash. Oh, wonderful.
Bash, dash, and fast.
I say him and immediately run into a cactus.
Feel happy. Feel fast.
Pew, 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 pew. Just silent wonder and appreciation of Heather's music.
And the absolute size of this lad. Oh no, I keep running into a
There's
cactus.
An adequate amount of banjo.
Soundtrack we have linked to before.
Yeah,
and-
soundtrack. Gosh, we should write down her name. Damn it, I don't have it on me.
I don't have it in my head as well. But we will link to it again here in the description. Once more. Hey, good. Oh!
You died, motherfucker.
I think you mean Mother Fucker.
Oh, Mother Foucault.
Mother
No.
Fucker, man, please
What
have
if you-
some punishment.
What if you had to refer to every philosopher as mother?
Here we go. Josie Breckner,
What?
aka Visager, did the music.
Thanks,
Thank
Josie.
you, Heather.
Thank you, Josie.
Thank you, Josie.
Thank you, Heather, for the name,
Also-
and thank you,
And-
Josie, for the music.
Yeah.
I love playing tennis with Fash.
Well,
That just makes it sound like you like getting on the tennis court.
I mean, to some degree, I'm doing both. And I'm running into a cacti. Hey, good. Hey, good. No?
yeah.
Aing-Nya. Aing-Nya is a joke explained in our praise series. Catch that.
We'll be doing that again soon, if I have my way.
You ought to have your way. It was great fun. And I'd love to have Tennessee on again. Good. Okay, I got one.
I like that.
And you like that I got one?
I mean, yes, they're fascists.
Oh no, this is a
no.
peninsula. Okay, so let's talk
Anyone
about
entering
geography.
Florida?
Oh.
See, this is also one of the problems with
You gotta go fast. You gotta hit him hard.
with
Dash punch. Dash and punch.
but we saw there with the big boy, with the large lad, some of the problem with sort of fascist, but generally sort of that kind of right wing ideology. I died, damn it. Wherein we have folks so sort of concerned with their own power and ability to be the one to do the actions
Which
that
will
they
one day
then.
fail.
Heather says, I'm not quite sure what she's referring to, but she says, that's not supposed to be there.
I think it was the death box.
Yeah, I left in a kill zone that's not supposed to be there, LMAO.
That's fine. I'm good enough. I can do it.
I don't think we really have much evidence for that.
I told you, Heather is real time, getting in the code of the game.
Specifically on your version
Yeah.
of Meatpunks. No one else's. If
I
someone
like
else were
the
to go
idea
to
that she
Meatpunks, it
has
will
like
be
an
there.
evil stepmother style magic mirror. Just like has an interior view of the NCA.
But yeah, like I was saying, like everyone, all of these opposing mechs want to be the one to punch me, such that they will punch other people into me or punch themselves off. And this, I think, serves pretty nicely emblematically for often what sort of the pyramid scheme of sort of authoritarian ideology does, and that is you keep trying to get into that higher pyramid, but there's only so many people who can get in it, and so you push everyone else down. And so it isn't some kind of like, rising tide lifts all boats in any situation.
The same one.
I'm gonna go one more time for this, and then skip it if need be. I just ran smack dab into a cactus. I dabbed into that cactus.
Can I say something along the lines of what you were just saying?
Yes, please do.
As you continue to die. I think when you watch like a lot of mainstream media, there's this conversation that's been going on for a couple of years now as to whether the Trump administration is stupid or evil. And I think that kind of misses the point in that, by definition, like Diego was saying, if everybody's frantically scrambling for the top of the pyramid because they believe in this pyramidal structure where certain types of people are on the bottom and certain types of people are on the top, and the only way to win a life is to have as many people under your foot as possible, then stupid and evil kind of go hand in hand. Like, the pyramidal structure is, like, morally bad, but it's also, like, just regular super inefficient. So, like...
Yeah. So this I'm gonna hang to the right. Oh no, this isn't the screen. This is
This is the
the
peninsula.
yeah. This is Florida.
Oh no, it's Florida.
This is Oklahoma's Panhandle.
This is Florida.
This is the sing. This is the true Wait, are
Oh,
you saying
golly.
that? Are you saying that if you go off the cliff, you're in Texas?
Depends which side I go off.
Yeah. So if you go off to the north, you're in
Kansas. That'd be Kansas. Oh,
Yeah,
golly.
I'm afraid I don't know nearly enough about my geography of the United States of America to have said that with any form of
I
confidence.
don't either.
I only know the geography of Southeast Asia. Oh, okay. I was gonna skip this fight. And we're gonna see what happens afterwards next time on Let's Play.